Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday night at 9 p.m, which can only mean one thing. J Mac, what does that mean?
It means it's time for the weekly dose of the Jibber Jabber podcast with me, Kevin, and him, Jay Mack.
The Jibber.
Jibber Jabber.
The Jibber, as a French would say, and the as the other folk would say. Janice says, "Hey guys, how's it going, Janice? Hope all is well." Well, there's been a wee bit of a journey, right? For context here. Tonight's episode will not be Fists of Fury. That'll be coming up soon. But I didn't have a graphic for the Big Boss, so I'll tell you. Tonight we're watching the Big Boss, or we watched the Big Boss, only just for some years. One of Bruce Lee's first, if I'm not mistaken, the role that shot him into the ether, the one that made him a household name, the Big Boss, correct?
100% correct. I mean, well, kind of. It's the first martial arts film that he did.
Well-
he had moved to America and was doing the Green Hornet, and when he was doing the Green Hornet over there, he had a producer approach him to basically fly back to do kung fu movies, and that was the start. This was the start of his kung fu movie journey.
That's Chinese karate for anybody that karate in Chinese for anybody that doesn't know. But wait a minute, Janice says recuperating.
All information and opinions expressed in this program have got fuck all to do with me.
Recuperating from sugar level getting low. Oh, Janice, I hope you're all good, man. Please be fine. Todd, my man, Todd Surprise says, "Hey guys,
Hey.
love your shows. Bruce Lee legend." Todd, it is understated how much of a legend he is, right? But in this episode tonight, we're gonna explore exactly why he's a legend, right? Because everybody knows Bruce Lee, and I wonder, question for you, J-Mac, would you say that Bruce Lee was like? Would you say the majority of people that know Bruce Lee, know who he is, have probably never seen a Bruce Lee film?
Nowadays, probably. I think they'll be like, he's basically part of pop culture, so it'll be like the same as the kids that walk around with Nirvana t-shirts on that have never heard a Nirvana song.
Mate.
It'll be the same. It'll be the same kind of thing. People will have stuff with Bruce Lee on it, but they've never seen a Bruce Lee movie. I mean, let's face it, the films have dated. Do you know what I mean? They're 50 years old now. 50 years old. But can you imagine seeing that type of stuff for the first time in the early 70s, having never been exposed to anything like that? The thing is, it's such a long story. We'll get into it all.
I know, we are truly going to get into it, because there's a lot to get into, to be honest. Janice says, "Hubby's taking care of me." Ray,
yourself,
what a guy,
Ray.
man. On you go, mate. We got a wee round of applause sound here for Ray. Ray.
Let's just day one.
Wait, Ray the Slay. Mate, Ray slays.
Finish him.
No, wrong one.
Finish.
to find
Husband's
a sound.
taking care of me. Finish him.
Try to find a sound for Ray. No, that.
I
wasn't
like
bad.
children. Do not
Yeah.
sound clip that.
We'll find him a sound. We'll find Ray's own sound at some point. Todd says 100%, definitely, mate. I knew Todd would like Bruce Lee. Matthewman says, "Holla gents, finishing a movie with the Wayne. We'll tune in later called Drop. No bad. Mate, I'm away with it. Need to find out who's going to kill this woman's Wayne. Big Boss was a hoot, by the way. Flying Alsatians. We'll get into tons of this." Todd says they know the character of Bruce Lee, but majority of people haven't watched a Lee movie. I would agree with that, 100%. That was my thoughts exactly. What we got here? Janice says, "All thanks, good." Let Ray know. We'll find the right tune for him, man.
He's a
Right.
good
So
Good guy,
aye,
Ray. It's a good guy, Ray.
100%, a good guy, Ray. So here's what went down, right? Everybody knows J-Mac's a huge Bruce Lee fan. Now I kind of fall into that category where I think I saw like 2 or 3 films when I was a kid. Enter the Dragon being one of the main ones. That's the one with Bolo Young in it, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, so that's the one I saw, right? So I knew Bruce Lee because of that and his huge effect
Picker.
on pop culture, right? His huge picker. And so I always was aware who Bruce Lee was, right? You've been at us for a wee while to watch a Bruce Lee film or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, right? And Janice says this movie came out when I was a baby. Haha, Janice, I wasn't even in my dad's ball at this point. So get this, right? So I'm like, okay, do you know what? I kind of owe it to Bruce Lee, right, and to J Mac I've made them sit through Pokemon and all that stuff, right? Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. And I was like, aye, let's go for it. Let's do a movie of your choosing. He chose The Big Boss, right? No, The Big Boss, not to be confused with Big Boss.
It's a different film.
Mate, there's a spoof waiting to happen. Big Boss. Anyway, you decided we were going to watch The Big Boss, and I thought, okay, what? We'll go for it. Usually, at sourcing a film, I'm pretty good, but this film was made in the fucking 70s, man. Right? So a wee thing or two happened through the week, and you're going to enjoy it. So bear with me with this wee story, right? I'm like, you know me, I can always find a film, right? And I like to watch the films closer to the time that we're going to actually watch. Like, we're going to do the show. So I was like, okay, no bother. It's like 2 days before the film, before the podcast, and I'm like, okay, I'll chuck this film on. It starts, guy with these bangles, he's like, right? There's a reason I'm doing an impression here. There's a reason, right? Stick with me. So he's like, doing all this, and I'm like, fuck me, J-Mac, this was your favourite film as a kid. I get into the film, and I'm watching it, and these men shoe folk come from out of town to smash all the folk in the town, right? The folk are like this. And this was all really badly dubbed. And they were like, I wish I could fight. I wish I could fight. This wouldn't have happened if we knew, which J-Mac later confirmed was Kung Fu. So they go away to the monks. The monks are like, why you want to learn Kung Fu? They're like, people come to our village and they beat us all up and kill us. This will not happen if we know how to Kung Fu. And he's like, you have much to learn. This is the wrong reason to learn Kung Fu. And I'm like, I'm heavy invested. Anyway, I watched the film and I remember going, man, that was quite a drag, to be honest. I thought Matthewman must have watched the wrong film though, because I'd never seen any flying Alsatians. I'm like, Matthewman, man, what's he like? Then I'm talking to J-Mac, right? And I'm sending him a voice note, and
the only reason it came up is because I couldn't remember if we settled on doing The Big Boss or Fist of Fury, and then you confirmed it was The Big Boss, and then you proceeded to send me an impression of that noise that you just did, and I was like, right, is he just doing like a really over the top Bruce Lee scream? So I thought I'll give it a wee laughing face, and then I started talking about the dubbing and how some of the voices are funny, and then I said the manager has got a really funny voice. And you just wrote back the guy at the start with the bangles, and I was like,
for context, pause there just for a second, J-Mac. This is the voice note I sent you, right? I even put this on our stories on Instagram. Did you hear that?
I can't really hear it. Your microphone corrects.
Oh, didn't he? Let's try it again.
Hold it further back.
No?
You can just hear squeaking.
Aye, that was my chair. Same thing. But aye, so it went on, and so I can, if you want, I can even read. I can read out the manuscript here. So I said, so you said the wee manager CUNT has a funny as FUCK voice, lol, and I'm like, that's the CUNT with the bangles at the start. Ha 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 ha. Hence the impression. J-Mac, the bangles, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I say, aye, on his arms. J-Mac gives me the gif of the guy like, what are you on about, mate? What are you on about, right? And I'm like, this guy, the guy with the bangles at the start. J-Mac goes, you watched the right film? Lol. Me, like, yeah, I put 2 hours into this. Of course it was the right film. It said it on it. It literally said it. On Dailymotion, that's where I had to find it. At the very bottom it says that this was the Big Boss.
Big Boss. And it also said Bruce Lee.
Aye, right, so it did say it. However, when you turn the film on, it did come up with the actual title, but there was me thinking, That must just be where it's set, right? I say, is that no it, J Mac? He goes, definitely no. I says, what a waste of my fucking time, man. He says, I was going to say, did you notice that Bruce Lee isn't in it? To which I responded, I thought he was just very young. And you know what's funny? Like, I was so like, here, I'm going to have to ask J-Mac why Bruce Lee looked nothing like Bruce Lee when he was young. This must have been one of his because I knew it was an early film. I thought, this has to be one where he was like so young that he just didn't look like him. So it turns out I'd watched the complete wrong film, man.
Yeah, what's also funny is that film came out 5 years after he died.
The film we're talking about here, this is what I actually watched. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin. Now, when that came up on the screen at the start, I thought, oh, is that what Bruce Lee is? The 36th Chamber of Shaolin. So that's his Dan, innit? That's his type of Dan. No?
Oh man, I can't do this. I can't. That's his Dan. That's his Dan. They don't have Dan in Kung Fu.
I thought Kung Fu was just Chinese for karate. I'm joking. So, mate, I had to speed.
Noodles is just Chinese for chips. It's not the same thing, man.
Well, we're fighting in it. Water, it's wet in it.
It's wet in it.
Here, mate. So I was like, oh no, I need to get it watched today. So I need to find time the day. I thought, right, cool. My sister came up, had a coffee. It was kind of a long coffee. And I was like, oh no, if I don't crack on with this now, I'm not cracking on with it. So it came in two halves, the actual film, but mate, the dubbing in it. The dubbing, so the version I watched was actually called the rejected dub. So this was the dub that they were like, here, this is the film, but it's going to be dubbed, and we're no wanting it dubbed like this, so it's rejected. Can you hear this?
Very good. I promise not to, though. And another so I remember my promise.
They're the most un-Chinesey sounding Chinese folk ever, no?
Well, that's always the case because they're always dubbed by Americans just to make it easier to watch.
I'll ask you a fun question about that. Just a second, J-Mac, just because our comments are piping up here. I'll get through them. I got a question to ask you about that, right? The movie came out when I was a baby. We got that one, Mick, fun fact, Bruce Lee owned a smartphone. Did he actually? I don't know if he's winding me.
I think there's a joke coming. There's a joke coming.
Probably will be. Bruce Lee, it'll be in there. Todd says, as a kid growing up in the 70s watching TV, movies, magazine, posters, he was like comic book character, larger than life. Still is, mate. Totally. Janice says, yeah, it was hard to watch, but worth it. Janice, mate, you need to let me know what version you watched, mate. Jay, you are questioning your friendship with Kev now. Mate, he questioned it a long time before this. Probably like when he got stabbed.
Every Sunday at about 9:05, a question of friendship at some point.
So get this, right? See if you were called in to dub a Chinese film for way back when, right? And they're like, right, J-Mac, you need to do it in English, but you need to pretend you're Chinese English. Would you
say no?
Why not?
Because it's rather offensive these days, isn't it?
But if it's a job, like, so get this: if you got hired to act as a Chinese man, would you not do it?
No.
As an actor, why?
No, because I'm not Chinese.
Right. So what if you got what if you were hired to act as a werewolf?
Well, I think it's slightly different because, like,
but you're not a werewolf, J-Mac.
See, werewolves, right? Don't know if you know this about werewolves, but they're not fucking real, right? So, don't really have a problem then.
But what about if you got hired?
My
to
point
play
is,
a paraplegic.
They couldn't actually get a real werewolf to play that role.
Okay, what about a paraplegic then? What about a paraplegic?
As long as they can act, it's fine.
No. What about you playing a paraplegic?
I would do that.
But you're not a paraplegic.
I know.
So, you want to pick a lane here?
There's a lot of lanes when it comes to trying not to fucking get done and getting sacked, getting cancelled.
Done, man.
There's so many lanes with so many turn-offs to different areas that trying to navigate the try not to offend somebody highway is basically fucking impossible. It's a constant traffic jam that you're never going to get out of.
But here's the thing.
But definitely never playing a Chinese guy. So if anybody's thinking about sending me any scripts to play a Chinese guy, don't bother. I'm not going to do it.
But here's the thing. What happened to actors being actors? You're not supposed to be a Chinese guy to play a Chinese guy.
It's probably a good start though, eh?
Do you understand the hypocrisy in it though?
100%.
Fair enough.
do.
We'll leave it at that. But I'd proper go for it. I thought, right, okay. I need all I would do is say, right, we're going to go into a room, you and I, director, right? I'm going to hit you with 100 different impressions. You're going to tell me what one works, so that whenever he gets raging about this role, I go, I'm just doing what he said, mate. I'm just doing what he said. I just act. But it's crazy, right? It's crazy. So they went the opposite way with this one. Every Chinese guy in this sounds like, hey, that's not very good.
Well, the thing is, even in the unrejected one, the one that was actually used,
The unrejected one.
they just
loved
talk
one.
like they just talk like there's. In fact, I'm lying a wee bit here. I think a lot of people in the proper dub, a lot of them actually made a proper effort to sound like they were actually there at the time, to try and make it sound like.
Did you watch this as proper
Natural.
dub?
Yes.
So you heard it like what? Give me your best impression.
You need to tell me a scene.
Mate, I'm no you.
Tell me a scene that you definitely watched.
Okay, what about the one where he's like, hey, you need to pay for those, what do you call them? The muffin things. The one
Rice
muffins.
cakes.
No, they never called them rice cakes in my version.
They 100% didn't mind. What did they call them in yours?
What are they called again? No. What are they called again? Dumplings. That's what they called them. Dumplings in my one.
Dumpling. The thing is, they probably are dumplings.
They are. They call them rice cakes in yours.
Aye.
No, they're dumplings, man.
They call them rice cakes in mine.
He was like, hey, you've got to pay for those dumplings. He's like, shut up.
No, in mine, he's like, now, hey, my money. And he just spits in his hand. He's like, "Pfft, there. And he's like, no, you got to pay for all the cakes. Now, come on. He's like, okay. Then he slaps him. Goes, get out of here, you little bastard. But that's what the acting is like. Get out of here, you little bastard.
Mate,
go on,
mate.
move it.
When do you ever go down the street and just see someone outside their house going, hey, what's the matter? My husband is gambling. I'll go and see. Hey, you want to gamble? I lost all my money. It's like, that's what you get for gambling.
That's mate,
what it was
it's
like,
not.
man.
It's not like he's so much nicer to him in the
Really?
the proper version. He is. He's like, hey, Ping, you lost again? He's like, everything. And he talks to him a wee bit, and then he picks up the dice and basically shows the guy that the guys have put weights in the dice.
They all went less. Hey, hey.
Don't do that in my version. They just kind of look at him like they're just like that. And then the guy's like, bastards. Right, and then they go outside, and then he gives them money, and he's very nice to him. It's nobody like, that's what you get for gambling, you wee prick.
No, he's just like, hey, he does give him money. He's like, here's some money. Remember, that's what happens when you gamble.
Do you know what's funny though? What you're saying, like, I never knew about the whole 2-dub thing, right? But there's a scene, like way later on in the film, where he's sitting in front of the river and he's picturing all the people that he's been living with, in the river, and there's like an internal monologue that you can hear. The one I just watched wasn't the one I grew up with, and it was also. I said to him, I was like, why the fuck is he thinking to himself in somebody else's voice? It was obviously, I guarantee it'll be for the version you watched, and for some reason they've shoehorned it in there. And then it was different music to what I was used to. And then, it just, for that one particular scene, it was fucked. And by the way, I didn't hunt to find, well, I did hunt to find this. I had to go up into the loft, right? So I looked through everything up there. I was like, can't I find it? Mel's like, do you want me to have a look? I was like, aye. So she goes up. Then I found it downstairs in the living room cabinet. It's like, so there was a bit of effort involved, but I had the physical Hong Kong Legends release DVD, and even in that, they've fucked about with it a wee bit.
Oh no. Janice says, perfect impression, Kevin. Thank you. I call it as I see it. Here, I found it, like you said, in the shop the other day, truly looking for the big boss, knowing there's no chance I'm finding it. Found our next Bruce Lee film, so I'm actually glad I've actually got it on DVD. Fist of Fury. This is one we were actually going to do.
I paid 20 quid for that back in the day.
No, mate. And
60 quid it cost me for the 3 films.
50p.
Wait, can you see it behind me?
Huh?
You know, see it? Just over my shoulder.
No, I can't.
No?
No, it's because it's too far away, man. Look at us. Bruce Lee wankers. Hold it up. Hold it up. Ha. Ha. Mine costs 50p, mate.
Yours is better Nick than mine or not.
No,
look at the back of mine because I had it stuck to my wall.
Oh, I mind that. But look, there it is right there, the big boss. Look, you open it, it tells you. Crazy, yeah.
Right. Oh, man. Same one. Yeah.
Ah, beautiful. I will find the big boss. Just check every fucking shop is gone. So when I put this on, it was so charming just listening to like, hey, get over here! All that stuff really had me howling. I found it to be quite campish and quite carry-on-ish. There's a point where like, hey, he got demoted! Yeah! And they're like, hoof to hoof to hoof to hoof to hoof! Like, skip it! I was like, what the fuck, man?
What, in my version, they're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Are they not doing that in yours? They're going
like,
hive to hive to hive to hive.
There's something like that. It's a tune they're going, hoof to hoof to hoof to hoof to hoof. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Wait, can I just say, like, we're skipping ahead in the film a wee bit, but that moment where he finally has a fight and he kicks everybody's fucking arse, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he gets taken into the office and promoted. So I'm pretty sure any story I've ever heard is somebody kicking shit out of everybody at work because it ends up in an arrest and getting fired.
Oh, man.
And he're like, no, this guy can control the masses. Which actually might be their thinking. They're maybe thinking, no, if we can get this guy on board, he'll be dead handy. Like, he'll keep them online. So actually, there is actually maybe some credit to be given there.
They go on strike as well, eh?
Aye.
Like,
See, in my version, it's like,
We decided to go on strike until Shu and the others were brought back.
that's what it's like in my one. And I bet yours is like, we decided to go on strike because we got stupid voices.
No, is this when he's talking to his wee missus and she's like, what happened? Why was he fighting?
Aye.
It's like, because we weren't working. Why are we not working? It's just like, because we went on strike. We chose not to go to work until Shu and the others come back. Mate, they got done in very quick and very quite easy as well, eh?
Who, Shushain?
Nah, the wee folk at the start.
Oh, like the very first 2 guys. Aye.
Aye.
Like, I remember I used to actually find it quite horrible when I was a kid. Like, what they actually do to them. Pardon me.
Aye, what was that bit? Did they cut them into bits?
Aye.
Using a big saw? I couldn't quite make it. They had like a saw built into the fucking Tekken or some shit.
Aye, it's a nice factory. So
Aye.
they would have just slid the ice over that bit of the floor, and then the saw would come up. I mean, we're talking about 1971 Thailand health and safety regs. Right? There's no really many of them.
That's how they got away with all it.
No doubt.
We didn't see him there. He must have fell.
It's like, no, another one.
Another one. One.
That's his name.
A Mexican Chinese dude.
But aye, they kill these 2 guys off pretty quickly. But it's to move the story along, kind of get you on board with the good guys. Mm-hmm. What was funny though is like the reason the guys get taken in is because they've noticed that there's drugs inside the blocks of ice.
Aye, that's right.
Because Bruce Lee shoves the block of ice down the ramp, and then for some reason it just goes skew whiff and falls off. What's funny though, I don't know if you noticed it. I noticed it because I knew what was going to happen, and I've been watching it my entire life. Somebody's just fucking screwed a bit of wood at that bit of the ramp so that the ice will catch it, and you can see it plain as day. Like nowadays they would digitally edit that out so you couldn't see it, and it just looks like it goes off fucking cockeyed. But no, there's just a big planky wood right in the middle of the ramp that wasn't there for the first block that they rolled down.
Of course.
But that's the movie making business, man.
It has charm, man. I think, hey, here's some money. You don't make a lot of money in this job. That's £1,000 each. Yeah, all you have to do is start working with me.
Is that what it sounded like in yours? Mate, see in the version that everybody else in the world has seen. It's not him, by the way. It's the manager. It's not him.
Is he not the same guy? That's the big boss, no?
That's the big boss, but the guy that offers them the 1,000 is the manager, not
They
the
look
big boss.
alike. They look a lot alike.
They've both got moustaches and dark hair and Chinese complexion.
Twins.
Twins, Basil.
Well, who's the one with the funky teeth?
That's the big boss.
I thought that it was the same dude.
No. No.
They're dressed.
But anyway,
They're dressed the same.
the guy that offers them the 1,000 each, in my film, this is what he sounds like.
1,000 each. Aren't you curious why?
That's what his voice is like. It's dead high pitched and weird. That's why I sent you the message saying the manager's voice is funny. And then that's when we realised that you were watching not the big boss.
I feel, honestly, I was scammed into watching another fucking mad Chinese film. Honestly, scammed.
But these films were all great back in the day. But the thing is, when you mentioned the guy with the things that, like, when you mentioned the bangles at first, I was totally confused. But once you sent me the picture, I was like, that's his 36 Chamber of Shaolin.
So you already knew that film then, aye?
Yeah, I've seen it once when I was maybe 14 or something.
He makes. Oh, yeah, by the way, see this scene had me howling because I felt like they were just ready to start fucking dancing. Whoppa Gangnam Style. Also, like they could have dealt with Bruce Lee if they just shot him.
Aye, nobody ever had a gun.
Just knives.
Aye,
You know that
just
there are
knives. The thing is, like, working in an ice factory would be a great place to work if you decided you just wanted to go mental. Because they've got those fucking hooks that grab onto the ice. They've got it looks like a big garden hoe that's obviously used for chipping ice off. And
Big garden hoe. Her name's
Aye,
Darla.
there's just an abundance of weapons just lying around conveniently for when anything kicks off. But aye, it's all these old kind of kung fu films. There's a bit of a dance element to them.
Mate, what does he say to that wee woman who's just sitting by the water? He's like, hey, I like the look of you. And she's like, leave me alone. He's like, no, come here. He just grabs her.
I need to see this version, man. It sounds hilarious. Do you know what's funny though? It's like even though you watched the right film, you still watched the wrong fucking film.
The wrong version of the film. This was the rejected version. Who wouldn't want to watch the rejected dub? They were like, this dub is not good. So I was like, thank you, I'll take that.
How's it even available anywhere? That's mad. If it was rejected, how's it available anywhere?
That's
You would have think they'd have went, it's like, no, this dubbing's pish. Out the bin, out the window, into the bin, right? But somehow you can get it.
Somehow it found its way to Kev.
I think you dubbed it yourself.
Do you know what? Well, yeah. Ross, man, giving it a good laugh. You need to check it out. Hey, check this, right? So, I was literally making dinner, watching the dub on my iPad, right? And it comes in two parts because it's a long film. So when I went to part 2, man, it went fucking subtitled. So I'm hoovering now, fucking reading and watching. What the? But then I went with the. I was like, old Schmecka, if you truly do want this podcast to work tonight, please send me the rejected dub. And then I thought maybe I should just search rejected dub. Search rejected dub and got part 2 in the rejected dub. I was like, yes. And that was at the point they're like, oh, howdy. On their way back to the cabin, I'm like, that's quite. 1 minute he's kicking somebody's ass, right? It's all about drug lords and stuff. Next minute is fucking, I'm off to see the wizard. I thought, what is
it does have some tonal shifts that I don't quite agree with. The thing is, Like Bruce Lee did not have a good time working on this film at all. The director was fucking hopeless. His name is, it's either Low Way or Way Low, depending on where you're from and how you read.
Way Low. It's his cousin How Low, and the other guy, Can you go? And then it's Can you go down low? Can you touch the floor?
Shall we?
Just joking. I'm joking.
He's basically the director was an arsehole. And the thing is, Bruce Lee's a bit an arsehole as well, for what we've kind of come to learn. So two arseholes in one room doesn't make for a good result. But there was a lot of things that they clashed over. Another thing, Bruce Lee said he hated going to work every day. It was so haphazard. The director was writing the script on the day and making changes to any script there was.
I quite agree with that though, J Mac. I quite agree with that. Let me tell you why. Because a good director will be on set and see, wait a minute, this doesn't work. Something that might have worked in my mind on the pages doesn't work. And because I'm now seeing this, I would actually like to change a couple of bits.
For what I heard, he wasn't a good director. For what I heard, he spent like for the whole shooting day, he was getting the horse racing results piped over these big loudspeakers all day because he was a fucking massive gambler. So all day, like these folk are trying to act and be in a film and do their scenes and all they can hear is horse racing results. The guy was just a degenerate. So there was a lot of head clashing in that, and I think because the script was getting changed so often, that's why you see such ridiculous shifts in tone. Like, there's a bit where, in fact, I think it was just after Bruce had pushed the ice down the ramp and it fell off. Mm-hmm. And then he went down and he was like, oh, that was my fault. And then the guy just full on punches him in the face. And then, 2 seconds later, it's like the end of the shift and he's just walking along with a wee smile on his face. I wouldn't be smiling after just getting hooked. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, I'd be stamping on somebody's head.
What do you think about the fact that you don't really see Bruce Lee fighting this till about 45 minutes in?
Well, I did think, in the version I watched, it's like, why won't you fight? I told my mother I wouldn't fight. Like, he promised his mum he wouldn't fight, and that's why he wasn't fighting.
Aye, but the thing is, you actually know more about it than me because that information isn't really in it. It's just that he's got this necklace and he's made a promise to somebody somewhere about no fighting.
So the rejected dub actually is a spoiler.
Well, aye, and I think so. That suits you fucking perfectly. But I think the story goes that he promised not to fight after his dad got killed in a fight. So he promised his mum that he wouldn't fight. But then you get to that moment where the guy rips that necklace off him, and you just like, you're like, fucking go. But the thing is, like, when he goes in and starts doing his stuff, you can just see how like hopeless all the other guys were at martial arts. They were all just like play fighting on camera. Mm-hmm. And then he came in and his moves are so quick and sharp and direct and just he clearly knows way, way more what he's doing than any of the other guys. Mm-hmm. But that's good, though. There was a change of director as well. I can't remember the name of the first guy that was pulled in, but he got fired, and then this Way Low guy, or Low Way, comes in. And he actually, they weren't quite sure who the hero of the film was going to be. It was either going to be Chen Chaoman, which was obviously Bruce Lee, or it was going to be Shu Shane. So either one of them, nobody knew when they were making it which one was actually going to be the star up until they were like halfway through filming. They were like, right, we'll get to Bruce.
Because he can actually fight.
Well, actually, no, because the other guy can. James Tien, he's actually, he was a real up-and-comer. I think if Bruce Lee hadn't happened, he would have been the Bruce Lee of his day.
Interesting.
Because if you look at him, he does know what he does. He does a million Chinese films that I've never seen or heard of. But he was huge in Hong Kong. He was huge in China and like just the East, basically.
Smart duck. I've not seen you in a wee while, pal. How's it going? He says it all goes to shit when Chow Mein goes missing. Mate, it all goes to shit when my Chow Mein.
I grew up thinking her name was Chow Mein. Like, I genuinely thought her name was Chow Mein. It's Chow Mei, M-E-I. There's just an N missing. But what's also funny is that's one letter away from being a meal, right? There's also, I don't know if it's the same in your version, but see the prostitute that ends up kind of having a sleepy one night stand with?
Does she get stabbed in the chess.
Yes. Her
The
name is
order,
Woo
yeah.
Man. There's another prostitute called Ting Tang,
Walla Walla Bing Bang is the third one.
and another one called Pyongyang,
Pyongyang.
which I'm pretty sure is the capital of South Korea or North Korea.
Good to see you, Smart Duck. It's been a while, my friend.
It's like, what are we going to call this prosy? Woman? Woman?
Woman.
What the fuck is going on? I don't know if that's what it is in the Cantonese version, but that's certainly what it was in the proper English dub, which I've watched. I'm so intrigued by this other one though. I'm going to watch it the night after we're off.
Again?
I'm going your version.
Oh, the
100%.
dub, the dub.
I'm going to see if I can find that.
man.
That's getting
Mate,
watched.
it's probably going to be a letdown. I'm probably talking it up better than it is, but that's to my recollection. That's what that is, right? Here, and this goes out to everybody tuning in live tonight as well, right? Via TikTok, via wherever you are. Okay, tell me if Bruce Lee meant something to you, J Mac, right? The Big Boss is your favourite Bruce Lee film. Tell me in a wee paragraph here. Tell me why it is Bruce Lee is on your Mount Rushmore as where his films are concerned. What about the Bruce Lee films really inspired you to keep watching his films and basically kept you mesmerised by what he does? Get it to me.
It's just what I grew up with. I think there is a huge nostalgic factor to the Bruce Lee movies for me because objectively, they're not great films. Do you know what I mean? I think like when I watched The Big Boss again tonight, I kind of decided maybe it's not my favourite. I think it might be Fist of Fury, which we'll get to soon. But for me, he was just my idol. He was my idol growing up. And I thought one day I'm going to be like that man, a fat alky. But no, I was always mesmerised by it. I always tried to emulate him. I got caught so many times trying to fucking dress like him, and even trying to fluff my hair up like his and shit. He was just my idol. And
Mate, I totally forgot all about this. You sent me a video once, and I remember howling my head off. You can really use the nunchucks. Have you got them to hand, no?
no, they're up, not under my bed.
Ah, mate. You should totally do a wee... I mean, you like messaging me one night being like, Kev, I can use nunchucks. I'm like, shut up, no you can't. Like, what, just? And you set your phone up, you're like...
I don't think I did the scream.
I remember laughing so hard, not because of how stupid it was, but just like in pure shock that you could fucking nunchuck like Bruce Lee. I was like, that's the last thing I expected from J Mac.
The thing is, like when it came to the nunchucks, my brother, it was my brother Brian taught me the basics really of how to use nunchucks. I then actually got a nunchuck instructional video. Which you could buy for martial arts magazines. Took about fucking 8 years to arrive, and it cost me about 30 quid, I think. And like the guys in it were very good, but the video, like it was done on like a JVC Handycam. Do you know what I mean? It was terrible. But also my dad taught my brother, and my dad learned how to use nunchucks by going to the cinema to see Fist of Fury 14 times.
Wow. So there you go. Your dad went to see it 14 times. It's no wonder. Smart Duck says his choreography was just different class. Have you seen J Mac's video as well, Smart Duck? Class, man. I agree with you there, Smart Duck. But you're right. Smart Duck's clearly a big fan of Bruce Lee. Well, there you go. You said your dad watched it. How many times, you know? Todd says, hit myself in the head with a pair of homemade shucks. I've all been there. I wonder what did you use to create it? What did I use? I'm sure I used like a wee hand towel and ended up just whipping myself.
I did it the other day with cabanossi. You know, the Polish sausages that are all stuck together. I took a couple out the packet. I just started swinging it about like in the kitchen. My missus was there. I was making the noise. I was like, wah, 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 and then it fucking broke in two, flew up and battered off the ceiling. I was like, sorry, I just got cabanossi on the ceiling, man.
Your missus hates it when you're swinging a sausage around about her.
Sorry, they were longer and thinner.
Todd says old broomstick. Ah, nice. Ah, so it would have been proper chain and all that. My when I think of nunchucks, I don't think of Bruce Lee, unfortunately. You know what I think of,
I need to remember which one it is. Michelangelo?
I think it is Michelangelo, aye. But you're correct. It was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
How funny is that? They changed it for the UK's because ninja was
know.
associated with violence. It's like, but you're still letting us see the turtles kicking fuck out of folk. So how can we not just see the word ninja? It's like, you can watch them kicking fuck out of folk, but you can't let them hear the word ninja.
Because they might try and be violent. No, but Ninja Turtles were a huge part of my childhood. And I suppose, guys, think about it, right? And it's even what Todd said as well there. He was so massive in pop culture that you had frogs essentially imitating his moves. Cartoon frogs.
Turning the friggin' frogs, Bruce Lee. What?
He's turning the frickin' frogs, ninjas. You know, was it Tekken? And I think, Tekken, the very first Tekken game, and many others. Law was essentially Bruce Lee, and he was one of my favourite guys to go.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee, like, it's crazy, and who can forget his son Brandon Lee, who obviously we've covered it at length in our previous episode with the Crow. That you know, it's mad that obviously there's no more. That his family are done, but it's quite the.
Shannon's still around. His daughter's still around.
Oh, what was that class thing that she was in again?
Nothing. She has done stuff though. She has actually done martial arts films. I'm sure. I remember seeing clips on a Bruce Lee documentary, and it was her.
Mate, go and do me a favour. Actually, go and explain to me what the hell Bruce Lee is.
Bruce Lee is a Bruce Lee impersonator, who basically got used for a bunch of schlocky, low budget Bruce Lee films after he died. And yeah, that one in the top corner, without even looking at it, that one in the top left-hand corner is called Bruce Lee, the Man, the Myth. And the reason I know that is because I rented it when I was a kid thinking it was a Bruce Lee film I had never seen. But it's not. It's a Bruce Lee film.
Mate, I bought these thinking, yes, Bruce Lee films, I'll catch up, I'll talk to J Mack all about it, right? None of these are Bruce Lee films!
No, I remember you showing me a few weeks ago. I was like, mate, I started laughing. I was like, mate, none of them are Bruce Lee.
I'm like, but I can see him. But it was Bruce Lee. Fist of Fury 2.
Can it, like, my wife was talking to me about this tonight as well. Like, obviously, I told her about your situation yesterday. We were watching the wrong film and going, where's Bruce Lee? He must just be really young in it or something. And Mel said, does he not even know what Bruce Lee looks like then? I was like, it sounds like he doesn't.
No,
like,
of course I did.
Aye, but how did you know spot you were watching the wrong film before watching the entire film? That there is Bruce Lee.
Right, so even when you tell me it's a Bruce Lee film,
that one,
I know what it looks like enough to go, that's him on the case. 100% him on the case, right? So I do know what it looks like. But the thing is, when you say, oh, watch a Big Boss, this was one of his first big hits, I thought, right, did he look different then? It did not compute. I was like,
he fucked his bangles away and grew his hair back.
I thought, I can't see Bruce Lee here. I can't see Bruce Lee. Right? So I thought, I'm going to have to quiz J-Mac on this. Did Bruce Lee look so much unlike himself? That's purely the point. Yeah? I was like, this doesn't make sense, but I'll go with it. This is the Big Boss. Smart Duck says, didn't he go Game of Death? Didn't he do Game of Death?
We don't talk about Game of Death.
Is that
Game
Bruce Lee again?
No. The guy that did Game of Death it's not Bruce Lee, but it's the same guy that played Bruce Lee in No Retreat, No Surrender as the guy that played Bruce Lee in Game of Death. There's a guy that played, Billy Lowe in Game of Death. They finished Game of Death 5 years after it. I feel like this has just turned into a Bruce Lee episode instead of a Big Boss episode.
It's going to be hard not to talk about Bruce Lee.
But I told myself I wouldn't do that. I didn't want to get into everything because what you're like with wrestling, that's Bruce Lee. That's
yeah.
I'm that for Bruce Lee. So
good man, good.
But the Big Boss, to go back to why I thought it was my favourite. I just remember it actually being I remember it being better than it actually was.
Do you? When's the last time you watched it apart from tonight? Well, for tonight's episode.
Probably a few years ago. But like just looking at the cover for this is the best.
Really?
This is 100% the best Bruce Lee
Better
film.
than Enter the Dragon?
Yes. Enter the Dragon's not a Bruce Lee film. Enter the Dragon is Bruce Lee ends up being the ultimate kind of hero, or actually not even. Bruce Lee is about at least 2 different main characters, maybe 3 up to a point, because you had Mr. Lee, who was played by Bruce Lee. You had Mr. Roper, and that was John Saxon, famous for Nightmare on Elm Street. He was the dad, the cop.
Yep.
And the third one was Mr. Williams, who was the black guy. Jim Kelly. So it's really a film about the 3 of those guys. It's really a film about 3 of those guys, and it's almost like an ensemble piece. It's not. I don't really consider it now an actual Bruce Lee film.
Aye.
But Way of the Dragon, the one with Chuck Norris, the Chuck Norris fight is the best fight in the entire Bruce Lee catalogue, like hands down. But I think Fist of Fury is the best film. But I did still really enjoy The Big Boss. I did.
Yeah, because prior to this episode, you said that Big Boss, you were take it or leave it growing up, but then as an adult, it actually became one of your best films. What made you think it was one of your favourite films?
I just... My favourite Bruce Lee film. It's not one of my favourite films as such anymore. You kind of change as you grow up. But actually, it's kind of it's a bit depressing. Like, I'd love to still say that my favourite films were Bruce Lee films. I'd love to be that kid again. But life moves on. Things change.
My favourite films are Rocky films.
Well, they're up there as well. But
Smart Duck agrees Fist of Fury is his best.
thank you, Smart Duck. I was finally fucking right.
Don't
about
call him
something.
Smart Duck for no reason.
Because he's smart as duck, man. So, but The Big Boss, I still think it's good. It's really cheap and hammy at times, but it's actually probably the most gory Bruce Lee film. Like the other ones don't have the amount of stabbings, slashings, axings, fucking sawings. There's actually there's an infamous scene where he puts a saw through a guy's head, and it never ever made it to public view. There's one photograph of it, but apparently they never used it because it didn't look realistic enough. Unlike the fucking Looney Tunes guy going through the fucking wall, that was fine. You know what I mean? But it's still in the film. You see Bruce Lee, he stands on the saw, and then like this is when he's kind of sizing everybody up. Then he goes down, picks it up, and literally goes, "Ha!" and does that. You see that action, and then it just cuts to him kicking somebody. But they never used that shot. They basically took the saw and cut the guy's head shape out it, sat it on top of his head, put some blood in it, the way you would expect it's done. But for some reason they decided it wasn't realistic enough to use. I would have thought that the censors would have been more likely to go, no, you can't leave that in. That's what I would have thought, but apparently no. But it's the most gory Bruce Lee film, and it's really poignant. See the bit where he finds all his family dead, like that still kind of put a wee lump in my throat the night. It did. Once he stopped shouting for a takeaway, "Chow mein."
Those deaths make me hungry.
But then, like when he walks in and sees like his young cousin, like the wee kid with the knife in his back, Bruce Lee actually acted at that bit. Like he looked fucking heartbroken, and like it's tough. Hard to get over how orange the blood is. The blood is particularly orange looking.
That's why he slips on the blood.
He slips in the blood. It ends up on his sleeve and that. It just kind of looks like my fucking son when he comes home from nursery, just covered in paint. It didn't have a really bloody look about it. It never did. I've been wondering why you keep fucking off, and I've just figured it out. But it's all right.
No. Do you know what it is? Like, TikTok are giving me shit, and it's in a glass and everything. So I've had
They're still giving you shit.
Man, I'm sure.
That's why I changed to
I know.
Robinsons.
Well, the thing is, I need to now actually have something. I've got a jibber jabber tankard thing that I'm going to have to use now, because even that TikTok man, what's it saying here? Your stream has been restricted because no everybody likes Bruce Lee. You a couple of daubers. Here, did you see the thumbnail for this episode? I'm going to see if I can upload it.
What?
But
no, it's not my glory hole face, is it?
no, oh no. But the actual what do you call it for this? The thumbnail. I actually made a word in Chinese, and it was in Chinese, and I hoped that somebody would call us out and be like, "Oh, what does that say?" or translate it, because all you need to do is basically copy and paste it into Google. It'll tell you what it says. So see that word
Look at my
underneath.
fucking face.
See that word under his chin? Know what that says?
The word under whose chin? Oh,
Bruce Lee's
sorry.
chin. Oh, it's not a word, it's a sentence. Do you know what that says? Look at you
no.
pretending like you can fucking. Why did you even pause? Like you.
Well,
you
because
read
I know how
Chinese
to read one Chinese word,
and it's not in there.
and it's not there.
So that there says "bolt ya dauber."
Oh man, I wish I got that instead of that.
What does that say?
Dragon. That's the only word that I know. I was like,
Dragon.
why do you get a dragon tattoo but couldn't afford it?
Fucking hell, man.
So-
Dragon.
It literally just says dragon.
Dragon. You know. Probably says Happy Christmas.
No, it does say dragon because it appears
Does
like
that,
that
right?
at the start of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Aye. Oh, that's class. That's funny. Dragon. That's J Mack, a dragon.
So that says bolt your dauber.
I thought, Ken, what? It's just a wee Easter egg. It's just to have a laugh, you know. Folk are like, oh, that must mean Bruce Lee. No, it says bolt your dauber. So any person that can read that comes across this episode is going to be like, fuck do you mean bolt your dauber? Easter eggs, man, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
So
Yeah.
can we talk about the flying Alsatians? Because
Mate, I was
never
more
thought about it
impressed with him
before.
how fast he could jump and how high he can jump. And these Alsatians are just flying everywhere.
What, are you more impressed with his jumping or the Alsatians?
Both?
Right.
Oh,
Because
by the way, did he say this in your one? Don't bite!
no,
What does he say in yours?
nothing.
No,
he doesn't talk to the dogs.
No, mind the dogs all chill at 1 minute because the guy restrains them. And they just
Oh.
stop and they...
He says, "Be still."
No, don't bite!
Yeah,
Be
stop
still.
eating.
Be still, is that what you got?
Yeah, be still.
No, mate, mine says don't bite. And then they laugh.
So the flying Alsatians. First of all,
The Flying Alsatians. That sounds like a fucking 80s band.
a flock of seagulls, fucking supported by flying Alsatians.
And the hit classic, Where's My Chow Mein?
So here with a new single, The Big Boss and His Gravy Bones.
The Flying Alsatians. Don't bite. Bite on this.
If we ever make another film that has a band in it, that's their name.
The Flying Alsatians. 100%. In fact, that's going to be a song. Matthew Min's going to put that on his YouTube channel. Mark my words. The Flying Alsatians.
100%. After he catches up with us later on, we'll have it. We'll have it before YouTube does. Trust me. So, the whole jumping thing was another one of the things that Bruce Lee was very against when he was making the film. This was Lo Wei's idea. It's almost like superhuman jumping abilities that these guys have got, and it's all the way through the film. Like there's a bit where two guys go to attack Cheng Chaoan and and Shane, and they just jump over the two guys as you do. You know what I mean? When you're standing outside a BP about to get mugged, just jump over the guys. So like he gains access to the fortress, the boss's fortress, by jumping the fence for a standing jump. Doesn't he fucking grab the fence and hoik himself over it? He literally just jumps over the fence like me jumping a fucking 1 foot wall. And then the dogs start running at him, so he starts dodging them and ducking and diving and ducking and diving, and then he starts jumping over the dogs that are already jumping at him. So fuck knows how high he's jumping if he's jumping over the jump that the dogs have jumped.
Don't bite.
But Matthewman made a good point. Like, to get the shots of the dogs flying at him, they must just have a wee guy off screen literally flinging dogs at Bruce Lee, and I just think that's such a fucking funny image.
It's so good, man. Here, Smart Duck says, I did karate when I was young. I used to tell everyone I was born the day Bruce Lee died.
So how old are you, Smart Duck? Because if you're born the day that Bruce Lee died, that would put you roughly at 52 now.
Really? Did he die that long ago, man?
1973.
Wow. 2 years after that film. Flying Alsatian sounds
Yeah.
like a trapeze act. Wait a minute. I kind of felt like Bruce Lee was around a lot longer than that, doesn't it? It's just his impact on pop culture, really.
Aye, that's
It
just
makes
his.
you
It's
feel
just
like
his impact. He died. He was born in 1940. Died in 1973. He was 32 when he died.
that.
He was
Wow.
fucking 8 years younger than I am now when he died.
32. He was a year younger. I'm a year older than what he was when he died.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
I remember years ago me thinking that. I'm a year older than Bruce Lee was. They're like,
You're like, Kev's a year older than Bruce Lee was.
like,
Wait, that's mad. You don't think of it that way. And Bruce Lee, like, what was it? He died again? Serheed?
maybe a slightly more serious version of a Serheed eye. It was a cerebral edema, which I always fuck up the word cerebral the first time I go to say it.
That's cerebral.
He had an allergic reaction to an equagesic painkiller that he took,
Aye.
and it caused his brain to swell up, and he died.
Do you think that was on purpose? Do you believe the myths?
No, I don't believe any
Story?
myths.
Don't believe any
I
of
don't
that?
believe the conspiracies. I also don't believe that he's now working for the Chinese police.
Or that I heard when I was growing up, they tried to kill Bruce Lee, they killed him. They tried to kill Brandon Lee, they killed him. Somebody put a real bullet in the gun. Why though? Why? Oh, because Bruce Lee was giving out all the Chinese fighting secrets. He was giving them all out, so they wanted him gone. This was the story. This was the old fable.
You can't fight a bullet, as they say. By the way,
track.
Lidl do their own version of Karamak. Just saying.
No way, mate. I'll check it out. Track top TikTok. Welcome to the show, Bal. Says, Chicky Ham. Thought that was what he said there. Ah, you don't speak the native tongue. I have no idea what you're talking about, pal. Probably my accent. Where are you from? Track top TikTok. Tell me where you're from.
He's fair about 150 yards that way. I'm not even joking. It's my mate Dave.
Aye.
Aye.
No, wait. It was J Mac. What did you say that was Chicky Ham? What did you say? It was Chicky Ham. Oh, right. It would have been the thing that he died of. Said some mother effer's name, and it sounded like chicken ham. Whose name did you say?
Chow mein. Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Never even mentioned Jackie Chan.
No.
It does sound like
Unless-
chicken ham though.
Yeah, did Jackie Chan ever work with Bruce Lee?
Twice.
Ah, class.
But he was always an extra. He was
Yeah.
like you see him very, very briefly in Fist of Fury and Enter the
Right.
Dragon.
Class. Smart Duck says inflammatory painkillers for a back injury. He was injecting it. Does that? Hey mate, I think Smart Duck probably has you trumped with Bruce Lee. I don't know, like he kens this.
He might have, by the way, because I just
Yeah.
thought that he had a headache and took a painkiller while he was at some slag's
he-
house. He was cheating on his missus at the time, by the
That's
way.
right. Who was his missus? Was somebody called Brenda or something. She was quite generic.
Linda.
Linda. Right.
Brent.
Come on.
Everybody called Brenda watching this is like, I'm not generic. Fuck you.
Back to fucking playing the bingo, Linda.
Morag, they're saying I'm generic.
Right, Linda. What was that all about?
Linda.
Martin, it's Linda. Yeah. What was Linda like? Was she sound and all that?
This might
She die a
be a
headache,
bit,
I know.
this might be a bit out of order, right? But
Uh-huh.
no, she's like she seems like a nice person, but if you look at her and Bruce Lee together, you might mistake her for a young Chuck Norris. I don't know what he's seen in her, like looks wise.
She generic. Below generic.
She's not even generic, man. Hang on a minute. I'll get you a
Generic
picture
would have
here.
been class.
Um,
Look, we're covering the big boss and slagging his wife. Was it Smart Duck says he was told by a doctor couldn't do martial arts anymore, but didn't listen. Typical
like,
young
like,
boy.
like, here's a picture, right? There's Bruce Lee with a beard, by the way, which is kind of weird.
But
he suits it, right? Quite a good looking young chap for the 1960s and 70s.
Know his best picture.
And here's his Chuck Norris looking wife.
Oh, you fucker, mate. Have you ever seen that meme? What's that meme again?
Fuck's sake. There we go.
No, she's the Yoko Ono to his John Lennon,
Pretty much. I bet he was thinking like he just did it for a green card.
I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if you thought it'd be out of order.
No, it is out of order, but also he was born in America, so he was an American citizen anyway. He was born in San Francisco.
And that's who he had Brandon with.
And Shannon. Yeah.
Shannon. But he was cheating on her with who?
An actress called... Actually, so this shows you my knowledge, man. It was an actress,
Smart Duck still got you.
An actress called Betty Ting Pei.
Of course it was.
I'm not even making it up. I'm not making it up. It sounds like I just made it up.
Betty Ting Pei.
There's rumours that he was doing the dirty, but apparently he was there for professional reasons. Maybe she was a whore.
Was he working with her at the time?
No.
So what's the professional reason then? Here, I've got to say, he'd won the shift.
So that's the story I knew, was that when he was there, he took a painkiller, had a lie down, and just never lay up again.
Oh, man. And betting pace, something like that. I have that effect on people, eh? Matthew Man, here he comes. Well, again, ashamed to say that this was the first Bruce Lee movie I've watched all the way through. I did kind of enjoy it. Loved the Looney Tunes whole. The guy left when he got punted through the wall. Matthew, man, you've missed quite a ramble the night, mate. We've enjoyed it. By the way,
I never asked you, Kev. Did you actually enjoy this?
I did, and do you know what? I think I would have enjoyed it far more if I wasn't running about hoovering and fucking making dinner and that while watching it.
So what you need to do for Fist of Fury, you need to do it properly. Like make sure you watch Fist of Fury. If you start watching you start watching Fist of Fury, and it starts the same as the Big Boss, you're watching Fists of Fury. So make sure you go to Fist of Fury, because Fists of Fury is the Big Boss in America.
Well, look, I've got the same DVD as you, so it should.
So you can't fuck this up, right? That's fine. That's fine.
I never fucked up. It said it on it. It was a Big Boss. So I was like, cool. I was like, "Where's Bruce Lee though? I can't see him." Nice to see that even back in the day, bad guys still waited their turn to attack the good guy one at a time. That's true.
What's funny though is watching the guys that are pretending they're attacking before attacking. Like they're just at the back kind of going.
Do you know, I didn't hate it. I quite enjoyed it.
Fist of Fury does that side of things a lot better. Like it's still one at a time, but so close together a lot of the times that you think they're all attacking at the same time. It's so much more well choreographed.
I really enjoyed the rejected dub, if I'm honest.
I need to see it now.
I really enjoyed that. I don't know if you'll enjoy it more. Just with like, I know that Bruce Lee does not sound like this. You know?
Aye. Because in the version I watched and have watched my whole fucking life, he sounds like a guy that's maybe in his mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
Like the voice, but for what I heard at that one segment where it was a different voice, the guy sounded about 60. Really quite a crackly voice. That sort of thing, like The Grudge.
Yes.
And
all the girls sound like that. My man is out gambling with all our money.
they're no
I
that
thought this was
different than
class.
the one that they didn't reject. To be fair.
Class.
But
I
the
fairly
one
enjoyed it.
the one that's really good, and I don't. What did the wee chubby guy sound like?
Which one's that?
I'm
Give me a
trying
line.
to remember their
His.
names. I'm a Wong. I'm a P.
I'm a Wong, I'm a P, I'm a pain in the ass every day.
Fuck's sake. I'm a Shan. I'm a Yin. I'm a Wong. I'm a P. I'm a
What's this shit?
Kun.
A Kun.
I'm a Kun. I think his name's a Kun. The wee chubby guy, his cousin. He always got his shirt open.
Blue
he's
shirt.
No, white shirt. He's the guy that when he finds him stabbed, he holds his head and rests his head on his.
What's one of his lines? I'll tell you, because I'll remember the line.
Well, you'll not remember the line because they're all fucking different than the one you watched.
But what does he say?
see the guy that's explaining to Chow Mein about how the fight happened. Him, the guy that does his voice in the proper dubbed version is really, really good. There's a bit.
So in this
Remember
one,
the
he's
bit-
like,
remember the fight? Sorry, remember the bit the fight that kicks off at the ice factory. It was the one where Bruce Lee got his necklace ripped off, but it was before that happened. And the reason the fight started is because the foreman fucking smacked the wee chubby guy in the face with a stick. It's like, well, during that fight, the wee chubby guy goes up to the foreman with a stick and fucking hits him in the head, and the foreman just looks at him like that. And in the dub version, he goes, and he runs away, and this is the exact noise he makes, right? He goes, sounds like fucking SpongeBob. And they never rejected that, so I can't wait to fucking hear what they actually did reject.
he's the guy that's saying to his missus, "It's great, I'm going to go to work because he got promoted." Like that.
It does not sound.
He got
Aye.
promoted. What? Why did he get promoted? Why are we not working? Well, we went on strike. Him.
Yeah, it's him. It's him.
Aye, class. That's how he
The guy,
sounds.
the guy that does Hud voice is good. The guy that does the big boss is good. The guy that does Chen Chawan, he's good. The guy that does Shushane is decent. The guy
Do
that
you know
plays
what's
their
funny?
old uncle, the guy that plays their old uncle at the start, he's pretty good.
Do me a
He
favour, mate.
sounds like this. Sounds like Kev doing an old guy voice.
The dogs are away from my face. Hey, by the way, do me a favour, right? Imagine this. Imagine somebody comes up, right, and they're next to you, and you've kidded on that you're Chinese, right? Do me a favour and just start listing off all the names of folk for that film, right? And let's see if you pass off as like because to anybody we wouldn't know that you're not talking Chinese. Try it right now. Go for it.
I don't think I would pass off as Chinese.
Right, but try it. Try it. Just so
Well,
you
like on the phone.
right now, just through the microphone, go like this, go. Start saying all their names and let's see if you pass off as if you're talking Chinese. Go.
No. A point blank refuse. 'Cause,
Why?
like, see this issue we've had with TikTok where they're booting us off for drinking. I think the Chinese owners of TikTok might get slightly offended that I'm sitting here trying to be Chinese.
You're not trying to be Chinese, you're just reciting Chinese. Here, do me a favour, J Mac. Remind me all the names of the folk in all the names of the folk in this movie.
Ashan,
we've got-
Yen, sorry. Shit, I'm trying to remember again. Ashan. Oh God, fucking forgot already.
Can I believe it, mate?
Ashan, A Ying, A Wong, A Pei, A Kun.
Really, that's interesting, aye. Smart Duck says he does his best bit of ankle beating anyone has ever done in Fist of Fury.
And it's against the wee chubby guy. Like he just starts going fucking tonto in this boy's shins with a stick. He's like, it's funny. Like there is good wee elements of humour in this as well.
Can't wait.
It's not quite Jackie Chan levels of humour, but it's pretty funny. What's next on the Bruce Lee list?
Oh,
This
easy,
boy.
Matthewman. You put it together, my man. Look, there it is.
I think we'll just do them. I think we'll just do them in order, mate.
Aye, is that the order? Like, is that what order there?
Aye, Big Boss was first, Fist of Fury second, Way of the Dragon third, Enter the Dragon fourth.
And by the way,
And we'll probably have to do Game of Death because it does have some actual Bruce Lee in it. But just
We shall.
just the last 15 minutes or so.
a wee series of Bruce Lee. That's not what's coming next week, but it will be what's up. What's coming next week? I can't wait for this. Matthewman assures me this is the stuff. Like a film called The Stuff, and the guy's got jizz coming out his eyes. So I can't wait to watch that. Like, oh no, man, what the day? Aye, coming up soon, Jibber, Fist of Fury. That'll be in a couple of weeks. I'm still waiting on a couple here back phase to see who may be another potential guest coming up soon. We do have a couple ideas floating around for a good couple episodes coming up soon, which will be pretty exciting. Before we wrap this episode up, I just want to say the final boss fight, mate. Right, I had to rewind it about 3 times because like, did he just kick that back at him? That's like King of the Kick. No, King of the Kicks. What was it? That's like the film American Samurai, where he goes like, he gets angry, takes the blade and he throws it, and then the guy turns around and just like hits the blade and it reverts it straight back through the guy, and he's like, "Ugh!"
Yeah.
Well, this one was kind of like that. However, it happens so quick. He goes like this. He throws the blade, he kicks it, goes straight through him, and he goes, it does not make a noise. Then Bruce Lee walks up to him and punches him, and he goes, it just goes down.
Yeah. It doesn't make any noise in the proper one.
Oh mate, you can't. I'm gonna have to send
Like,
you these links.
Bruce Lee, like, he kills the big boss with essentially a fatality move for fucking Mortal Kombat. Like, you can't just put your fingers through people. You just can't. Like, even if you know what you're doing, your fingers, they're not sharp enough to penetrate human skin, right? But he does. Fucking rams his fucking fingers and thumb, and his thumbs stay out. Rams 4 fingers of each hand into the guy's rib cage, and he's bleeding out the bottom. A lot of blood coming out. And aye, but the whole knife kick into the chest thing is really funny to watch because obviously it's done in reverse. The knife was in there. He's standing there with the knife in him. They then yank the knife out, probably attached to a string, and then they just play it in reverse. They did it earlier on in the film. See, just before he knocks the guy through the fucking wall, Looney Tunes style. Just before that, they throw knives at him while he's standing against the wall. and then you see, I think it's one knife to his right hand side, and you see the knife go, like, he kind of goes, "Huh," and the knife goes in. For the other shot, for some reason, as the knives go in, his face goes closer to the knives. So it's like they started the reverse shot with his face at the knife as opposed to away from it. So, because like if there's knives coming at your face, the last thing you're going to do is go, "Huh," to where the knives are going.
Yeah.
But they never throw it through, but they still used the shot. It's ridiculous. So so it's fucking daft. There are daft moments in this film, and a lot of them are probably down to the director. Bruce Lee fought against a lot of the bad decisions, but was overruled because he wasn't big enough to question anybody that's been working in the Hong Kong film industry at the time. But as his career progressed, he had a lot more say over what was happening. And you'll see that in Fist of Fury. The Fist of Fury is like
a la Matthewman. Flying dogs, man.
So aye, it doesn't hold up well, but I've still got a really soft spot in my heart for it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about no holding up well. I've heavy enjoyed it, pal. I heavy enjoyed it, but this might be down to the dub.
Did you find yourself laughing at it? Like, other than the dub, were you laughing?
Aye. The fight was good, mate. It was decent. Like, I've watched things like that thing I watched thinking it was Big Boss was far worse than Big Boss. Like, I found myself going, man, come on, get to the better bits. You know, there's nothing worse than going, fuck me, this is shit.
From memory, there was a lot of fighting with like spears and stuff. See the stuff that now the Shaolin monks. I don't know if they do it anymore, but for a long time the Shaolin monks had a stage show, where they were touring the world, like Cirque du Soleil style, doing Shaolin monk stuff, and it's fucking impressive. Yeah. Like, these guys, their acrobatic abilities, their strength abilities, their endurance.
Oh yeah,
it's all amazing, right? but I don't really enjoy the Shaolin films as much. Because it is just a bit too. There's too much of that. But I think Bruce Lee, but that's what Hong Kong martial arts films were. Like up until Bruce Lee came along, it was like flying swordsmen and spear fighting and stuff like that. That was all they got, and then Bruce Lee came in and kind of brought it back down to the ground a wee bit. But again, as things moved on, I think Bruce Lee's films got more realistic as they went on. Might just be my opinion. But aye, he's. I will have a Bruce Lee tattoo at some point before I die. I had this great idea, combining like all the people that had a big effect on me growing up. So I had Bruce Lee, my brother, and my dad. Right. So I thought I'm going to get a quote on my arm, and it's all stuff that my brother and my dad said, but with a picture of Bruce Lee. So it's Bruce Lee saying, "I won't sit in the pan for 10 minutes." Right, so that my brother, if he watches this, he'll know what is. And
I thought you were going to say you're going to get
my dad's cure
Bruce Lee kicking fuck at your dad and your brother.
My dad's cure for everything when we were growing up. Like, if you went to my dad and you were like, "Dad, I've got a sore stomach," he'd be like, "Wait and sit in the toilet for 10 minutes." Right, that was his cure for that, which makes sense. I've got a sore stomach, but he would say it for anything. "Dad, I've got a sore head. Wait and sit in the pan." "Dad, I've got I've got a broken finger and my tongue is burst out the middle of my throat. I went and sit in the pan for 10 minutes. That was his thing. His thing was just, it doesn't matter what's wrong with you. AIDS, go and sit in the pan for 10 minutes. It'll go away. A bit like the sawdust.
Last time I sat on fucking something for 10 minutes, that's how I got the AIDS.
Nah, guy wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes with a bumhole as tight as mine, Ken.
God, Matthew says the logo at the start brought back memories of watching Jackie Chan movies as a kid. The intro music was pretty damn cool too.
Actually, that's something I'm curious, Kev. What was the intro music for yours?
It was like like that.
The English dub 100%. The proper dub had 100% the best soundtrack. In fact, can we just play it? I know we'll maybe get a wee strike. Play it for 10 seconds. We shouldn't get a strike for 10 seconds.
Where will I find it? YouTube?
Aye.
Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. What's it called?
The Big Boss theme tune.
Oh, I put that on Instagram. Here, it's that old. Will we really get suckered for it?
All right.
Share screen. The Big Boss. Also share audio. Let's see how this goes. Can you hear it? Let's hear. Well, there it's there, right?
Gonna get an advert first, didn't we?
Hopefully no. Likely though. Oh no. Hold on. The Big Boss. What did we call it again? Rejected. It might have been the same. Right, here we go. Where are we? Big Boss Rejected Part 1. Here we go.
To my Dublin and beat me up.
Is that not what you watched? No.
No. I think we've established this. That is 100% not what I watched.
That's what I watched. That's what.
Man, to my Dublin and beat me up.
The thing is, I think if you've been robbed with that, because that is so bad. That is so fucking bad. If you watch the proper dub, you'll get a different film. You will actually get a different film with it, man.
Wow. Matthew says, epic as fuck music. Aye. The second, like my one, was definitely not the same music as you. You fellas definitely need to cover Kung Pao. Phenomenal movie. Great film.
I've just I don't know why I've just thought of this. There's the Trey Parker and Matt Stone film Orgasmo, and there's a character in it called Choda Boy, and he is a kung fu expert, or he was when he was a kid. But he's like he's like, I used to be a master of hamster style kung fu. He's like, used to be? Why did you stop? And he's like, I remember it like it was yesterday. And it cuts back to when he was a kid. He's sitting eating breakfast with his dad. And he's like, Dad? He's like, yes, son. I don't think I'm going to do hamster style anymore. He's like, okay.
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 Nay bother.
I need bar, son. That's soon as a poon. So the version you watched isn't the version I watched. We have established that. And I think you'd probably have a totally different experience for it. I know your time is tight. You're a fucking very busy man. But I think you should try and watch the proper one. I'll even mail you the fucking DVD if you want to watch it.
Mate, do you know what? I'm going to find the DVD because I think I do need to have more Bruce Lee films in my collection.
Well, I'm glad you think that now. I think you've watched this film and you've kind of realised what Bruce Lee is.
Aye, totally. And I've got Enter the Dragon on Blu-ray, so that'll be good when I get to that one.
See, the Enter the Dragon was very much a westernised version of what a Bruce Lee film was.
Yeah.
There's maybe too much in it. There's too much in the way of story and that. Like, you don't need that with a film like this. You just want to get into the action. And I'm not like that nowadays. Like now I'm like, no, I won't watch a film if it's just senseless action. I want storyline. I want character development. I want character arcs. I want somebody to be different at the film. I want somebody to be different at the end of the film than they are at the beginning. Because I'm a snob now, right? I'm a total fucking snob. But when it comes to martial arts films, I could not give a fuck. I just want to see people getting their fucking heads kicked. That is it. That is it.
Well, next week we will be seeing something, whether it's heads kicked, burst, cracked open. Matthewman is absolutely over the moon that we're covering this stuff. Matthewman, come on with us, mate. Tell us all your stories, mate, because this is a Mount Rushmore movie for Matthewman. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's right up our street. It's mental, man. We will be back with another Bruce Lee film, Fist of Fury, which will only then lead us on to the rest of the Bruce Lee films. That'll be within the next coming weeks, depending on what our schedule will allow. But it's been a class. Remember, every week, every Sunday, 9 p.m. you can find the Jibber Jabber podcast right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, sometimes Instagram, but nobody ever tunes in for there. So, but make sure you're following us everywhere, because if you follow us everywhere, then when we do something cool somewhere, you'll know about it. Really cool things coming up this year. So we'll see what the weather holds. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Audible, everywhere that you can listen to this podcast, make sure you tune in on a Sunday. Come join us. I see all these numbers, and I'm like, do these guys never tune in live when we're on the video and all that? I'm speaking directly to you, who's listening to this in your car. Come say hi, interact with us, let us know you're here, because it's fucking class. You guys are class. Matthew says, you two are going to fucking hate this stuff. I'm looking forward to it even more so now. So, it's been class. J Mac, I hefty enjoyed The Big Boss. I'm looking forward to doing the next Bruce Lee film. This one, again, I'll no have a shitey dub, even though I want one. I might even seek out a shitey dub, but I have the stuff right here in the hand, so I'll be able to watch it proper, and we'll get a good wee flow going. Everybody that's tuned in tonight, some folk like Smart Duck, we've not seen in a wee while, thank you for coming back. I know that every episode we do every week is everybody's cup of tea. It's one of those things where you flick through the pages and go, that looks alright, I'll tune in that night. So we thank you very much for doing so. Everybody's tuned in via TikTok, everywhere. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. You guys make this all worthwhile. Ginny says, love you all. And that, by the way, is reciprocated to all of you. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. Smart Duck, you wee legend, you. We'll see you the next time you pop in, but Guy kens his Bruce Lee stuff. That's all I know. If it's a guy.
It seems to.
Yeah, Smart Duck knows what's what. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next week at 9 p.m. If you want us to do some midweek shows, let us know. Like, if you really want it. Can make it happen. J-Mac, anything you'd like to say before we bid these fine folks adieu?
Send me the links to the rejected dub. Other than that, I've got nothing. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers, folks. We shall see you on the flipper. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.
Kevin on the mic, sharp like a blade. Jay Mack cracks a joke, got the crowd swayed. Sundays light up as they set the stage. Two voices cutting through the digital age. Oh, Kevin and Jay Mack, they roll like thunder. The bond isn't fake, it'll pull you under. They laugh, they clap, but they never flounder. Brothers in the spotlight, no love is louder. And loyal week after week. She laughs till her ribs ache, the jokes that they speak. Matthew Min drops his takes, always on point. The podcast rolls smooth, kings on the joint. Oh, Kevin and Jay